Hello, my name's Giles Palmer. I'm from Brandwatch. What is Brandwatch? Oh, there we go. Social media analysis. So we've spent the last 9 years building a software as a service platform that typically brands but also agencies use to understand what everybody is saying on social media. It's mainly a B2B platform. Well, it is a B2B platform, so it's not something that as consumers you would have heard of, so we're a little bit under the radar for most people. But we have achieved a decent scale. There's 330 people in the company. We're doing about $3 million a month in revenues, and we've got 1,300 customers. And probably, it's difficult to pick, but we're probably the leader in our little space. It's probably not so little, actually. So what does it do? I'm going to give you some examples. So it looks a bit like this. So Thomas Cook had a bit of an issue with a crisis when a couple of their holidaymakers died in Corfu. It went crazy because there was some issue with compensation. Social got involved, and this is kind of what happened over June, and there was this whole blow-up reputation thing. And down here, these are all the color bars are all the different types of people that talk about them. So it wasn't just people like you and me. It was journalists. It was kind of health practitioners, software developers. It was a whole raft of people. So this had clearly gone public, and they needed to know what to do about it. This is Apple versus Spotify, Apple Music versus Spotify. Apple Music comes out. People start saying, I'm going to leave Spotify. That's the top graph there. People saying, I'm canceling my Spotify subscription. And then 3 months later, they're going to cancel their Apple Music subscription. Downstairs below that is that I'm staying with Spotify. So interestingly here, the people have spoken. Spotify is the winner. And we can visualize it, and you can get into it. And this is something that you can do on anything with our platform. This is last example of this one. This is McDonald's launching all-day breakfast, and we can show down to each individual restaurant what the reaction is on the day to see whether people actually give a shit about McDonald's all-day breakfast. As it turns out, these guys did in this particular restaurant. We can also map the entire conversation that's public around something like Coke and see how messages spread across the network. So actually, one of these guys down here, I think, is the real Donald Trump. He got involved somehow in the Coca-Cola story over this particular period, and he had a little cluster talking about around him, and you can see different people are connectors between these different clusters, which is super useful when you start thinking about how you want to get your content out into the wild. And then we automatically pick up unusual trending stuff to a level of detail that Twitter don't do, or anybody else for that matter. We also have a second product, which is a big screen visualization product called Vizier. It looks a bit like this. The guys building it think they're building Minority Report. I'm not quite sure yet, but it would be kind of cool if they did. It sits in this case, the Super Bowl behind-the-scenes kind of room that Land Rover Jaguar were using to watch what was going on in kind of on social in real time on Super Bowl in order to kind of figure out their messaging during that event. Or this is a customer service center for a big American bank, and it gets used in various other display areas. Oh my God, I've still got 7 minutes left. I'm whipping through this. I'll give you some of your time back, I promise. So why are we the market leader? Well, there's the stats, right? We've been doing this for 9 years. We started off really small. We took bits of money along the way when I thought we'd hit certain milestones. So we had a seed round of about £500,000. 3 years later, we got a corporate invest in us which helped us build our back end. We did our first venture round in 2012 for about 4 million euros, and then we did another one in 2014, and then another one this year. So we've kind of accelerated the amount of money that we brought into the company, and accelerated the business as a result. And obviously, doubling from 10 to 20 is a completely different challenge from doubling to 150 to 300. Both in terms of financial requirements and also in operational challenges. So we set our store very high. We were very ambitious. We had a good plan. We hired great people. We worked extremely hard. We have this phrase internally, massive action. When we want to get something done, we decide what it is, we plan it, we put the team on it, and then it's right, massive action. And that kind of focus, that intensity, has helped us to do some good stuff over the years. And obviously, we've built that culture of excellence as we've gone, following actually our ability to execute, and when we hit milestones, the confidence internally in the company goes up that step, and then we aim even higher. So there's that kind of virtuous circle. But the other thing which I just thought I'd end on, actually, is I think the reason why we've done pretty well as that kind of insane ambition and work ethic and all of that good stuff, is that we've looked after each other along the way. We pride ourselves on having a pretty good internal culture. We're very open. We do all these kind of cool, funky, modern things, and we engage with people, and we obviously expect a lot of them in return. And that beautiful little circle has helped us create a really strong culture, which means that we get low staff retention and all of that kind of good stuff. So that's Brandwatch. We're a B2B. We've got a decent scale. You've probably never heard of us, but that's okay. And maybe you will in a few years' time. Well, thanks for listening.